For more, we're joined by the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation Chairperson, Niclas Kjellström-Matseke, who's coming to us live from the Swedish capital of Stockholm. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Today marks the end of the traditional mourning period. And in taking stock of the year that was, so to speak, what stands out? Because 2022 happened without the Arch's presence.
Yeah, first of all, Mpo, thank you so much for having me. And what has been outstanding is the silence during 2022. The silence of the voice that we've been so used to hearing, the voice of conscience, the voice of justice, the voice of fairness and peace. And that is obviously because we have been missing the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu during this year.
And in really just thinking of some of his pearls of wisdom and some of the major incidents that have shaken the country and the world at large, like the Ukraine-Russia conflict that's happening and having a ripple effect on the entire world, what do you believe, some of his thoughts would have been in sharing his pearls of wisdom?
You see, this year obviously has been a very, very troublesome year, not only for us fellow South Africans, but throughout the world. We still have climate change to battle. We have the pandemic or the aftermath, the war in Europe, and so many signs of meltdown in politics in South Africa and throughout the world where democracies used to be. I think the late Archbishop Tutu would have been very, very loud during this year had he been around. And obviously, he would have called upon us as leaders, as fellow human beings, to step up our game and actually try to do the right thing and try to make the world somehow fair and just.
And in terms of how the family's keeping up and, the foundation in itself, how's that experience been throughout this year?
So, first of all, the family has been very, very, how should I put it, satisfied and appreciating of all the love that's coming throughout the world to them in this troublesome time for them on a personal level. And they are very, very grateful for that support. When it comes to the Desmond and Leah Legacy Foundation, it's been a busy year. It's been a very busy year to ramp up the work where this is the platform of the Tutus, where the programs and outreach will take place. And in that work, together with the IP Trust, we have developed a program where we have harnessed the wisdom and the legacy of the Arch. And we will do that and convey that through institutions around the world, universities around the world that sit on this treasure of Tutu's wisdom, speeches, interviews, lectures, and lots of other items that is now to be displayed in a digital program throughout the world. And that is what the Tutu Foundation is about to display during 2023.
In displaying this digital project, of course, conveying messages and some advice from a man who had a lot of grace, he was wise, a great sense of humor. What are you hoping to leave with those who encounter and get a chance to communicate and go through some of his works?
There is many levels to this, obviously. There is true knowledge about what the value system of Tutu was really about. It is obviously also inspiration. You have to love the man, and you will love the legacy. If you haven't encountered with it before, it will be truly inspirational. And also the fact that once you listen in to his wisdom, it's quite simple many times. He would say, Niclas, It is not that difficult. It's quite simple. A good act is good, whoever conducts it. And an evil and a bad action is actually evil and bad, whoever is the one that actioned it. So we have to look at things for what they are. That becomes obvious when we look at politicians, when we look at other leaders, but also when we look at ourselves. So I hope that people that enjoy this digital ecosystem of Tutu's legacy in the future will be inspired and hopefully inspired to act.
And when are you looking to release the works, and in terms of access, how are you going to collaborate that?
So I don't have the time plan yet. I need to speak to the people in the foundation as well as the CEO, but we are very busy getting this together inside of the Tutu Foundation and also with the IP Trust. And there are many, many institutions around the world that needs to be involved in order for this to actually happen. So yeah, let's get really busy, and we'll come back to all of you as soon as we have the great news of releasing it.
Very well. Thank you so much. Let's perhaps leave it there. Niclas Kjellström-Matseke speaking
so
there on behalf of the Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation. He's the chairperson, telling us about some of the exciting work still to come to inspire